At the age of 15, young Brittany Mancini tried marijuana for the first time. In the years to come, her life would spiral out of control, and then...
Well, when I was 15 years old, I started getting into the party scene, and that happened I went to a friend's house to stay, and you know, not realizing she had already had previous agenda going to this field party, and a field party is you know, just a bunch of high school kids, or maybe older than high school kids, in an open field, kind of with a bonfire, campfire. As a 15-year-old, I was just kind of, you know, especially without God in my life, like I was looking for that acceptance, that fit where I could, you know, really just feel comfortable and like I fit in. And when I was 17 years old, I sniffed my first bag of heroin, with never the intention that I was going to be a junkie.
Her fun soon turned into an addiction and then a corrupt lifestyle. But after a while, she decided that she needed to get clean.
You realize it's not fun anymore. Like, I mean, once you're starting to shoot up, it's not fun anymore.
Another party, Brittany was introduced to the concept of a life with Jesus.
There was a junkie who was shooting dope right next to me in the same basement, who started telling me about Jesus. And I thought, you know, this sounds good and this sounds right, but when he mentioned Jesus, it really was a spark of hope in my hopeless world. My parents welcomed me back home. They let me come in, and as I went to church with them, I remembered, you know, what I learned about Jesus, and how I knew that there was some life and there was something in that. Like, I didn't know what yet, and as life came into me, death had to go in the other direction. As light came into me, darkness had to go in the other direction. The next day, after the last time I got high, I remember just having this understanding that I knew God had given me. I created you for a great purpose, and I have not gotten high since then. Actually, 3 weeks after that, I was totally delivered from smoking cigarettes also.
Then God revealed his plan to Brittany.
He wanted me to help open a faith-based recovery center. These ideas were flowing so rampantly out of my mind and out of my heart that I knew it was from God.
Brittany didn't have much time for such a detailed project, so the idea got pushed aside.
There was a Christocentric conference in Indiana, PA, which means centered on Christ, and at this privately owned park there was this king swing. The second time I went to go, the person before me, when they came back in on this really steep hill, they kind of jumped off. I kind of grabbed it real quick and hoisted myself up by the strength of my arms, and my knees were kind of sitting on this round wooden disc. When I grabbed the swing, I was facing this way, but when it jerked, I went this way.
Brittany fell more than 35 feet to the ground. The doctor had to break the news to her mother and father. Brittany might not survive.
I had chipped, cracked, and fractured vertebrae from the top of my neck to the base of my spine, and then my wrist, it needed reconstructed in 3 areas. My collarbones, they cracked and they punctured my lungs, and actually from the impact of the fall, my lungs actually collapsed and were badly bruised and filled with a lot of blood. On my left side, 10 fractured ribs on my left side, and 4 to 8 on my right side. Some were just badly bruised.
Brittany's recovery went miraculously faster than expected. She was able to leave only 12 days after her accident without the help of a wheelchair or crutches.
When I got to church that Sunday, people were like they thought I was going to be in the hospital for another month or 2.
And then God moved again. It was clear that God was not finished with Brittany.
Pastor Henry said, "Britt, come over here," and so I walked over, and he showed me these pictures. These are the buildings where we're going to open our faith-based recovery center.
In June of 2010, Brittany was working at the Father's Heart Ministry.
In July of 2010, we opened up the women's home to receive women who struggle with life-controlling issues such as drug addictions, alcohol addictions, eating disorders, self-mutilation, cutting, or just emotional problems. And God is love, that God is He is deliverer, He's the bondage breaker, He's the healer, and I want them to have that same hope, that same spark of hope that I had when I was bound in addiction, that there is a way out, and Jesus Christ is it.
Brittany made the choice to change. Through clear direction and a life-changing miracle, she is an example of how God's love can work for you.